Just like so many of the items that we're sharing with you today, you've been waiting since March. They have been disappeared off of QVC since then because they sold out. Last time we actually presented these March 25th. They are back. I will tell you right now, there is no auto delivery. So if this is what you think an English muffin is, because that's what most of us have seen and grew up with in a grocery store, look at Wolferman's. Wolferman's is, I think, a 138-year-old recipe that we're talking about. And let me tell you what you're going to get today, just in case, like I was looking at those sausages. Great guy gift, right? That would have been great for my brother-in-laws. That's what I always give them, is food, and they love it, and I'm in. But you could do the same thing with something like this. How lovely to send this to someone. What you're going to get is 8 of the original, 8 of the sourdough. They will be packaged like this for you, so they'll be easy to put in the freezer in case you don't want to use them all at one time. And then look, because you'll also get 3 jars of preserves with this. You get berry, strawberry, and blueberry made with real fruit. You could actually even see it as you open the jar and spread it on your Wolferman's. It's M62200. As I said, there is no, unfortunately, auto delivery. So many of you are buying more than one because you can very easily, this is a 12-month freezer life. And as I showed you, it comes in a bag with 4 of them together. So it'll be easier to fit into your freezer. And then the preserves will just stay good to go on that one. All right. So promised, special guest for everything, Dana Fleming is here. And Dana actually is one of our many gourmet food specialists. So Dana, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Hi, Pat. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How about you?
I'm great. Thanks for asking. Good. It's so good to hear your voice. It's so good to be here.
Thank you. We love having you here, and we're so excited that Wolferman's is back because we haven't seen you guys since March.
Well, and you know what? It's perfect for this time of year or for what's going on. If you're not comfortable with going to the grocery store, this is the perfect freezer staple because you've got 12 months freezer life for these muffins, and you can rotate them out as you eat them. That's what I do at my house. I take one out immediately and put it on the counter, and then I put the rest in the freezer. And sometimes I might even leave a sleeve in the fridge.
That is a really great idea because there are now only 1,100 remaining, and then they will be sold out once again, and who knows when we'll get them back in. Because Dana, the preserves on top of the Wolferman's, what is it about Wolferman's? I mean, it's a 138 or 135-year-old recipe. First of all, the presentation. I mean, I showed what you always share with us, what I think most of us grew up thinking, okay, this is an English muffin, and I learned in home ec how to make it into a pizza. But this is an English muffin.
Right. Well, if you look at the two, you hold the one up next to the other. The Wolferman's is literally twice the size of the grocery muffin. And you cannot get a Wolferman's muffin in the grocery store. But this particular recipe is 110 years old. How many brands can say they're 110 years old? So this recipe has really stood the test of time. And it all started in Kansas City. It's a Kansas City tradition. Louis Wolferman had a corner grocery store that was very popular there, known for gourmet food. And his son, Fred, actually invented this recipe in 1910. People went nuts for it. They lined the streets waiting for them. And here we are, over 100 years later, that same original recipe, and people still go crazy for them. And one of the main reasons is because, well, one, it's delicious, but 2, it can stand up to any topping.
Yes.
If you can see that burger, you can see you can use it as a burger bun. You can use it for a pulled pork sandwich. You could put Sergio sausage on here and have a great sausage sandwich. You can make a delicious French toast out of it. But they're also just amazing to have for breakfast and to put our delicious fruit preserves on top of it.
These fruit preserves are really like the cherry on top of the sundae. The smell of the fruit, they're so...
literally, right?
Yeah, they're just chock full of fruit. It's just so wonderful. I mean, look at the blueberries on this.
Well, it is, Yum. It's the freshest fruit. Preserves what makes the difference between a preserve and an actual jelly is the fact that you're using that real fruit. And so in the blueberry, you can see the actual pieces of blueberry in there. It's the closest thing you're going to get to real fruit flavor.
I love the nooks and crannies on this, Dana, and many times in gourmet catalogs, or if you're sending someone, you see Wolfermans.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we do. You do see it in the catalogs, but it's funny is Alberti calls them peaks and valleys.
Oh,
it's not nooks and crannies because they're so large. I mean, even a half one, depending on your appetite, you might only want half of the Wolfermans, which is great. Now you're doubling the amount that you have.
Can I just say, too, if you're making something like Eggs Benedict, usually the English muffin on the bottom is like this little hard, crispy thing that you can't cut through. This is so soft and fluffy and light. Also, I think it's a smarter choice, carb-wise, than making one of those breakfast sandwiches out of a bagel or, you know, a big fluffy bread thing. You know, so I think if you're going to eat an English muffin, it's a smart choice, and this is the best English muffin to eat.
Well, Carolyn,
it really is.
700 remain.
700 remain?
Well, 700 remain, Dana. And we know what happened last time you were here with us in March. It completely sold out. So we're going to encourage everybody. We also can do build to, ship to. And the nice thing is, Dana, we're not actually choosing. We're getting everything we're telling you about. So you don't have to say, I want that or that. It all comes together. 80 of the original, 8 of the sourdough. 3 jars of wonderful preserves. You'll get 4 of these so that you can go ahead and put them in the freezer if you want. Dana, continue to take good care of yourself. Can't wait till you're back in the studio. Thank you so much.
You too. Take care, Pat.
You too. Bye-bye. All right.